Great. Thank you, Erin, and thank you everyone for being here today. It's good to see some faces I haven't seen for a while. We'll have, I know there's some other folks joining us, but we'll get started. And I just wanted to introduce today's theme. The title for this call is "We Are Each Other's Magnitude: Celebrating Community Contributions." And that "We Are Each Other's Magnitude" comes from a poem called Paul Robeson by Gwendolyn Brooks. And she writes, "We are each other's harvest, we are each other's business, we are each other's magnitude and bond." And that came to mind for me, especially as I was thinking about Brenda and Nanci, who we'll be honoring today, and the ways that they move in the world, the ways that they embody interconnection and mutuality. Um, and I thought that was just, it felt just right. Um, we'll spend the bulk of our time today honoring Brenda and Nanci, and we'll also, in terms of celebrating community contributions, we will see a new map that Erin has been working on to help us visualize the RCC network and community. And we'll also hear an update from Michael about our membership efforts for the Retreat Center collaboration. But before we get into all of that, Erin has graciously agreed to do the shared values and community agreements. You can probably hear that I've got a bit of something going on in my chest and my sinuses today. So I'm going to try to give you guys some breaks from listening to me talk. So thanks, Erin, for being willing to frame this call as usual with our values and our agreements.
Helps if I'm unmuted. Thank you, Kirsten. Yeah, up on your screen, you should see a couple of slides. First slide is sharing the core values of RCC. So these are the values that RCC is formed around: the power of place and space, the interplay of inner and outer work, and a commitment to universal flourishing. So basically what these core values are acknowledging is that retreat centers are unique spaces for transformation, both of the self and the world around us. And that in that work of transformation, we're hoping for change that is uh, universal, that supports everything, not just human life, but also more than human, other than human life, other ways of being, that our work leans into that and supports those kinds of transformations and relationships. And then our community agreements, these are the agreements that we use to shape our space together in our community calls to help us frame how we like to interact with each other. Those agreements, we ask that you speak from your own experience and to acknowledge that your voice and your story are important. So if you feel something rising up in you, especially today as we honor Nanci and Brenda, we ask that you lift your voice and let us hear what you have to say. We're all knowers and learners in this space, so let's support each other, listen to each other, and learn from one another's experiences. Silence can be centering, movement and sound can be centering too. So we might use different practices that will involve movement or silence or stillness. So you can expect maybe some of the unexpected when you're on these calls. Keep each other's stories confidential, but let's share what you learn. And that goes back to before we started the recording, I let folks know that we do record these calls so that we can share them out with people who aren't able to attend in person. But if there's something really vulnerable that you would like to share and you don't want it recorded, let us know so we can pause the recording. Or if someone shares something vulnerably, when you go out to tell other people about what you learned, and maybe remove some of the identifying information from that learning. Let's see. This is an invitational space. Participate as you are able. We understand that retreat center leaders are very busy people, so that you probably have other things going on other than this call. If you need to come late, leave early, pop in and out because you need to chat with someone or take a call, we understand. So just know that you're welcome to be in this space as you are able. And if that means, yeah, that you need to just listen or voice some of your needs or listen to your body asking for something, please pay attention to those needs and what your body is telling you that you need to. Hold discomfort with grace and deep listening. Some of the topics that we talk about on our calls may be a little bit uncomfortable. So to just listen to your body again and to hear each other with deep listening and grace, and to know that we're here to support each other and we're not here to fix each other. And one of our favorite quotations from Dr. Leticia Nieto is choice is the smallest unit of liberation. So we do our best to offer as many choices as possible for folks who are participating. So if there are ways that we can continue to offer more choices to you, please reach out to us and let us know. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Erin. My name is Kirsten Vandergiesen Reitzma, and I am part of the Stewardship Circle for the Retreat Center collaboration. I was part of the initial Stewardship Circle, left for a while, came back, and I'm so grateful to be part of this work with you all. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat if you would like, with your name and where you're from, what center you're from, or organization. Include a link if you would like people to be able to find out more about what you do. I will start today with a couple of community updates, as I mentioned. Erin will give us a tour of the new map, and then Michael will talk a little bit about our membership work that we are embarking on with the Retreat Center collaboration. So, Erin, I will hand it over to you.
All right, let me pull up our new map here. I mean, just a moment for technology, for me to catch up with the technology, maybe. All right. On your screens, I think you should see the new RCC Kumu Map. Ben Scott Brandt, the former program director, was the one who initially set up the Kumu Map for RCC. And it had not been updated in, I think, several years. So it was sorely needing an upgrade. And we were working on that this spring to sort of bring it up to speed to make sure that all the members of our community were represented on this map. So when you bring up this link, let me see, I can pop a link to this in the chat for you all, so you can take a look at it on your screen as well if you would like to. But this is the first screen you should see when you hop into the Kumu map, and over on the left-hand side here, there will be a little introductory section, which I highly recommend that you read, because right below this little introductory video for RCC, there are going to be just a few little tips that will help you navigate this map with a little bit more ease than you might have if you just jump into it. Let's see here. So I will say that working with this map, I find it a little bit easier to work with it on desktop than I do like on the phone. So I would recommend working with it on your desktop. You'll come into this version of the map where it shows basically all of the retreat centers. That might be the original, might be a little bit more zoomed out like this to try to show absolutely everyone. We've got a few dots here that are around the globe. But to zoom in and out, if you've got a scroll button on your mouse, you can scroll in pretty easily by using the scroll button on your mouse. You can also use these toggles over here to zoom in. It's a little bit slower, not quite as pinpointed if you use these to zoom in and out. This zoom fit will also bring you right back to the very beginning of the maps and show you everything and also get it centered. But yeah, basically you can zoom in. Green dots here, those are retreat centers. Yellow dots are allied organizations. So if we zoom in here, we can maybe get a look at where Kirsten is. Is this Gilchrist, I think? And if you tap on the dot, it'll give you a little bit of a look at the profile for that retreat center. little summary of what they're about. This is usually taken from the website, and there will be a little rundown here on the bottom that gives, the country that they're in, their address, if they're part of one of our regional groups, which regional group that they're a part of. They're in a state or specific state or province, it'll give that information as well as their website. So you can click through and take a look at their individual website as well. So those are pretty fun things. I haven't yet found a way to pop back to the original without either refreshing the page entirely or going back to hitting the default view and going back to the network map. So that's the way to get back to this main page if you're still exploring your the tools to use to explore the map. You can move the map around just by clicking and holding. So you get like a little hand that allows you to shift things around so that you can center whatever you would like to make sure is centered. The search function here is really helpful. The search function will allow you not just to search the names of retreat centers, but anything that they have tagged in their profile. So if we're looking for Catholic retreat centers, it'll bring up a whole list of Catholic retreat centers. So that's an easy way to search through our map. And something that would be really helpful to have from the community would be feedback on what tags you would like to have in your profile. So if there's something else besides your major religious affiliation that you'd like to have in your profile, you'd like to have, interfaith, multi-faith listed somehow to help people search and make connections with you, let us know that. And you can do that by contacting the email here at the bottom, connect@retreatcentercollaboration.org, and we can make updates to your profile to add those tags. So that search function is really, really helpful. And also there are different views included in this map. So there's the default view, which we've been looking at here, that has all of the retreat centers and allied organizations. There are also network maps, which is basically the same map, but it allows you to filter by countries. So if you just wanted to look at the Canadian retreat centers, we click that button, we've got all the Canadian retreat centers listed up there. And you can mix and match if you just wanted to look at the US retreat centers, or if you just wanted to look at who we've got in our global community, then you can click that too. So there's a filter for that. Regional filter as well. So Midwest retreat centers. Here's our Midwest crew right there. And then Western region, they're over there. And then again, you can mix and match if you want to take a look at different combinations. That view will allow you to do that. And then this one is a little bit messy. There's a version of the map that does actually show you the names of all of the retreat centers in the collaboration. So you have to zoom in to actually be able to read all of these, but once you do, you can scroll through and you can get a sense of who's where, who's doing what in what areas pretty quickly. And then the state or province one, this one's a little funny. If you want to search by state or province, you can also do that down here. So if you just wanted to, I'm in Michigan, so if I wanted to just see Michigan retreat centers because that's where they're closest to me and that's where I might want to travel, I could do that. Or if I'm thinking, oh, well, I've got some friends in Indiana, so maybe I'll go down to Indiana. You can mix and match as well. Or if I thought, well, maybe I'll hop over the border, go see Michael. I think I could head over to Ontario too. So there's another way that you can search through these maps and see different connections as well. I will say the lines here are indicating the connection between, I believe it's Commonweal, Fetzer, Gilchrist, and Kirkridge, who are founding members of RCC. So that's what those lines there are indicating as well. Oh yes, and if you would like just a plain old list of the data on this map, go down to the lower right corner, look at this table, and then you've got a list, you can filter the list by clicking on the top of the columns, and you can filter it up or down, and you can do that in any way that you'd like. So if you wanted to filter them by region, you can do that by region as well. So you can see all of those together. Or if you wanted to do the same by state, I have to scroll back over to see it, but that gives you some control over um, seeing which way things are grouped together. Yeah. And I think that's about it. And if you have any questions about the map, if there's anything that you would like to see us update it with the map, if you take a look at your entry and you'd like us to make changes to it, please reach out and let us know. We'd like this to be a useful tool for you, and your input helps us to do that. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Erin, for sharing that and for doing all the updating. That was a huge task and it looks beautiful. And it's hard to imagine that 8 years ago that map didn't exist. We didn't have a sense of who the whole is, who the network is. So that's really a gift to be able to visualize it. All right, I will hand it over to Michael for some updates about the membership program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Erin. Amazing. That is amazing. I can't wait to play with that tool a lot more and see how we're all connected. And I just love a map. So that's just so fun. So I'm excited today to give a little bit of an update on our membership network and the work that we're going to be focusing on the next few months with all of you. If you've been a part of the listening circle or a community call in the last little while, you've probably heard a little bit about this, and we've been seeking feedback from all of you to refine and finesse what we're working on here. So Erin, do you have those two slides, the campfire? Thanks. So I'm just going to review this, and if this is the second time or third time you've seen this, I'm really sorry. But we wanted to just let you know that we're working really hard to determine how RCC will continue to be relevant and function and support this growing community that we've just seen on the map in the time to come. And so Peter Wrench has been working on funding and staffing structure for transformative impact, which eventually would include a program director, a network manager, and a team coordinator. And we're very skillfully supported currently by Erin. So we're working hard on this. And one of the first phases that we want to roll out is this network membership piece. So I believe what's on the next slide? I'm having a try. Okay, perfect. Yes. So we presented this to folks last month with an opportunity to join a movement for transforming the retreat landscape. So this is an invitation to all of you to become a financially supporting member of the RCC with different tiers that would support the network going forward. And we had invited folks with the three numbers below. And we had some really great feedback from folks after the last community call and also from the listening circle. And so the steering committee went back to the drawing board to rethink how these might be more approachable for folks. And so we do have, which will go up on the RCC website very soon, these new tiers. Is it possible, Erin, to throw up that link and I can just go through that? I really appreciate you so much. So I just wanted to walk you through what these new tiers are. And we're still open to feedback, of course. So please don't hesitate I'm going to throw my email address in the chat in a minute. If you have any questions or feedback you want to offer about this, we'd love to hear from you. So this is what the website is going to look like when we go live very soon. So just to remind folks that our purpose here is to connect with our peers, to access specialized resources, to transform your practice. I know my experience during COVID, for instance, that we were able to transform Five Oaks, where I was working in so many ways because of the RCC, because of the support and the mutual collaboration that was happening. Joining the RCC is an opportunity to amplify your impact and an opportunity to innovate together. So by becoming a member, you're going to have access to the member community platforms and a resource library. You'll have your organization listed in the RCC directory, which includes that amazing map that we just saw. And you'll have early access to funding opportunities and collaborative programs, opportunity to participate in specialized cohorts and learning communities, and have priority consideration for hosting RCC events, for instance, like a future retreat like we had in 2023. So here are the refined membership invitations. And I actually just want to read through these. And I actually want to just breathe a thanks to Kirsten, who is always so good with listening and refining our words to match our vision. And it's definitely one of your many gifts, Kirsten. So I'm always appreciative of that. We wanted to let everyone know that no one will be turned away from membership to the RCC due to finances. So if your center is struggling, we're here to support you, and we're asking that folks can give at a level that they can give at. So we've moved this into four categories. So the first would be called Raising My Hand, and that's a $25 membership, and it says, I want to be counted, but my center is struggling right now. Please remind me to renew in a year, and I'll see what's possible then. So we're hoping that this is the level that at least most of our retreat centers and our organizations can find $25 in their budget for this year to connect as a member. The next level is called Sharing Supporter, and that's at the $500 level. And the sentiment is, I have a personal experience of the value of the RCC and commit to contribute in a way that's a manageable stretch for where my organization finds itself right now. The next level would be Central Supporter, and that's around the $1,000 mark. And the note here is the RCC represents over 350 centers across the US and Canada. And if everyone were able to give at this level, we'd meet our goal to support the entire new staffing model. The next level is Sustaining Supporter, and that's at the $5,000 level. And this would be targeted towards larger centers with stable budgets that can help to hold the whole for our diverse network. And if this includes your center, thank you for sharing from your abundance. And then there is a sliding scale opportunity. So if one of these numbers doesn't fit for you, so perhaps you're somewhere between $25 and $500, maybe you can stretch to $250. Your individual contribution on that scale is welcomed. So these membership invitations are guideposts along the way, helping to articulate what will make it possible for the RCC to operate day to day from an operational perspective. So very soon, then below this, you'll see where it's going to be a membership sign-up form. And this is different than our donation page. So you're very welcome to make a donation and to get a receipt from that. Membership doesn't count as a donation because you're actually receiving something for it. So it's a fee that you're invited to annually participate in to help sustain the core operational costs of this amazing network that has been created over the last 8 years. And of course, if you would like to give a gift and it doesn't fit within the donation category or a membership category, I'm here to talk to you about that. And this is where I'll segue into that. I'm delighted to be able to support the RCC over the next 3 to 6 months as a part-time network manager. So if you can take that down now, Aaron, that'd be super swell. So I'm here to support you as we grow this network and our membership base. And I'm hoping that over the next 2 to 4 months, I'm going to have a chance to connect with every single one of you to learn more about your center and to learn more about where you might see yourself and your center being able to give on this membership scale. So we're super excited, and it's going to go live in the next few days. We're just working out some technical IT computery things that's not my gift for sure. And we're so thankful for Doran, who's working on that for us. And when it is ready, we are going to let you all know. So I'm going to pop my email into the chat. you're very welcome to email me anytime. We have a plan of how we're going to connect and network to all of you. So look forward to my email in your inbox. And don't be shy to reach out if you really want to get going on your membership. Don't be shy. You can just email me and we'll get connected right away. So that's the update from the network manager membership side of things. Hope you enjoyed that.
Great. Thank you, Michael, for the updates. And like Michael said, feel free to contact him with any questions or to make sure that your center is lined up to contribute. This really is a collective effort, and it has been all along. People contributing. Um, I think the invitation and the opportunity to contribute financially is new, but people have been bringing many other gifts to this community all along. Insights and wisdom and experience and space and registration skills and questions and all sorts of things. So this is hopefully another manifestation of what we're hoping to embody as a gift economy. Um, We'll shift now for the rest of our time together into honoring our friends Brenda and Nanci as they step away from their roles with the Retreat Center collaboration. Um, I wanted to hold some space first for each of them to share what you would like to share in this moment. For those who saw the most recent newsletter, there were links to beautiful letters from Brenda and from Nanci. If you haven't seen those, feel free to check them out. And I don't know if you'll reference those today. I trust you will know what to say and how to share. So Nanci, would you like to go first?
Sure. Thanks, Kirsten. Yeah, I think I actually will share. I will share the letter. Yeah. I have a heavy heart today. Yeah, heavy heart on stepping back from RCC, and I had some really tragic news of a friend, death, uh, as well. So yeah, I'm gonna I'm going to start with a poem because that's going to give me a little bit of grounding. So one of the things that grounds me is, yeah. Anyway, I also just want to say thank you to everyone. A lot of love, and the poem I'm sharing is about I Ching readings. So during this time, I Ching has been a real grounding practice for me. If you don't know I Ching, it's an ancient Chinese divination process similar to tarot or others, but I'll show you. You use these yarrow sticks. So divination. Let the thunder roll, says the arrow, and I'm comforted by the craggy sticks in my fist, the light friction of gathering, parting, the care and the count and the tend. When you're slipping around in the grief, inside the fear, it's good to get tangible. Always below the thunder, above the thunder, there's laughter. Writing these very words is breaking a spell. Our wise and courtly thespian died, but didn't lose his voice. His impish witch settling, gathering us around the pod. Cobbling notes, lines, a silk bag, porcupine quills. The spirit too brought the haskap, put her back together again. A family walks the land along crumbling forts, and the tender sprite is out in the wilds, invited to nurture small steps, clouds dense and moving. How to stay in the thunder, meet the rolling moment with a wink, eyes wide, metabolize our old tales and trolls that they might tell us. So, friends, I'm blessed to have found so many friends and teachers in all of you. From the early days when I was an ED trying to navigate COVID, HR tips and moral support, the racial healing circle that really, really buoyed me during some tough, tough times, some crunchy, as I like to say, periods. How to navigate the friction and the thunder, uh, how to speak my truth in it. It's been beautiful and it's been hard. Um, I will share, because I think it's relevant to this conversation, that my friend who I lost took his own life. And I say that because I, and I said this in the note, our communities are under attack right now, and we need places of refuge. We need safe, sacred places where people feel like they belong, where people can connect and play. I need those spaces. Um, and we also need deep tending practices. Our ancestors and traditions have long known to move from a different place. Um, I'm in this place right now. I'm returning to my body, returning to my practices. I'm in choirs. Um, I'm planning a retreat to Coromila Retreat Center in Northern Ireland. Stay tuned, but yeah. Anyway, I said in my note, nourishment and rest needs nourishment and rest. And how we find this for ourselves is, I think, the real act of decolonizing and racial healing. Rewilding. I also said rewilding. So I'm honored. I'm supporting land rematriation at Tatamagouche Center with Women of First Light, and I ask that you please support them too and keep them in your fold. There's a wonderful, lovely new executive director. He's also a poet and a musician, Isaac Valentine. You'll meet him. Um, and I know I will, and I'm sure Tatamagouche Center and Women of First Light will continue to be engaged with RCC and the land justice networks that overlap us. So I'm with you too, in these brutal times, and I do believe that we are in the last sacred gasps of a crumbling empire. I know it's violent and I know it's brutal, but that's what gives me hope. We are the Courage Labs, nurturing shifts. We are the shifts. So much love and gratitude to all of you. Thank you for all you hold.
Thank you so much, Nanci. Uh, Such an embodiment of all of the many gifts that you've brought to this community, and the gifts that you bring to the world, and why we're really going to miss you. So thank you. Brenda, would you like to say some words before we shift to giving words and blessings back to you both?
Sure. First off, I just want to, I'm already very emotional, as I often am, not because I'm very much in my heart, but I want to first thank Victoria for inviting me into this space. I remember sitting in my backyard several years ago, having this conversation around, hey, would you be interested in taking this position? And what a gift it's been to me, what a gift it's been to the retreat center, in the network. What a gift it is to me who you hired to work with you, that I got to step into relationship with. Some of them are here, Arlene and Marissa for sure, and then folks on the Stewards Council. It's been such a beautiful journey that started long before I got here, with RCC and then with Victoria and that initial RHI team thinking, advisory group, dreaming in RHI into being and getting resourcing for it. And again, some of those folks who are part of that are here, including Oren and others. So I'm just really grateful because I know that there's a whole body of people that helped bring it into birth and who served it and were consultants before I got here, and then consultants that have been there the whole time. So first off, I just want to say how much gratitude I'm holding in my heart, because it's been such a beautiful journey and lots of lessons along the way, beautiful things, hard things, which is to be expected in this kind of work. But more than anything, the gifts of the relationships I've gotten to make in this space, and the lessons, like I feel like, yes, I brought some gifts to RHI, but I feel like all the team that I got to work with brought lessons for me and teachings for me. Lauren, Marissa, Arlene, and LJ, who I got to work with for part of that time as well. I learned so much. So it's really important for me to name that part first, my heart of gratitude for these deep and beautiful relationships that I know are lifelong and are going to extend beyond this time. There's so much I share with Nanci around the words about the particular time that we're in, and the need for sacred refuge in this time, and sacred relationship with each other, with the beloved unseen. And I know many of you have heard me share about the teachings different elders have given me around the Toltec calendar and indigenous prophecies about this time and the time that we're in, which feels very aligned again with what you were sharing, Nanci, about the death throes of the dying last son and system and weight in consciousness. And doesn't mean it isn't difficult, but it gives me hope in that context too, that we're in the cusp of the next cycle in our calendar. And in that context, for those of you who didn't get a chance to read the letter, Spirit and Ancestors are calling me to start a new project, which is not a new project because I've been in relationship to it with our Moon Circle for many years, called the Nepantla Center for Healing and Renewal. And a lot of work ahead around creating local hubs for embodiment practice, resilience practice, somatic practices in beloved community. The network of these hubs connecting to each other, and also the land trust and the land here that would be a training center for training in the racial and ancestral healing, for land listening, for land healing, for land stewards to be in a different kind of relationship with land if this is new to them. It feels like a big leap to take, but I also know all the relationships around me, both in the human and non-human world, are here and eager to get started on this. And I also know the Nepantla Center for Healing and Renewal will become a member of RCC and a supporting member at whatever level it can once we have funding coming in. Because I know one of the things that feels important that we talked about at the retreat is like, though I'm leaving this particular role, I'm not leaving RCC, because this network, this community of retreat centers is very, very important to me. So my heart is both joyful and grateful for all that has passed. A little bit of grief and sorrow too, because I won't be seeing you as much in the next little bit as I'm getting the ground under the Nepantla Center. But once that's true, then I definitely want to come back into this fold in a different role, a different relationship. A lot of gratitude for the Stewards Council retreat that we had, I believe it was in February at Pendle Hill, and the land holding us in some really beautiful conversations, ceremonies around those transitions, and for the Stewards Council that held us as we had those conversations. So stay tuned. I'm around, just in a different way. And I don't see this as a goodbye, I see it as a changing of relationship and role in the community. So I feel grateful for that, because these relationships are so precious to me. And I especially want to say thank you to people here who have been RHI sites, whether with in the time of Victoria before I got there or during my time. Thank you for your willingness to take a risk and to try on something different with you and your board and your staff and your communities with us, knowing that it would be beautiful and also challenging, and to dive in with us. This is much for our learning as the RHI team as it is for you. Grateful. And I'm grateful to be in relationship with you and carrying all of you in my heart in this time. Well, I had a poem I was going to read, but I don't know if I'm supposed to read it now or later. I got this book at Pendle Hill while we were there. It's called I Send My Blankets Over You, Lessons of Love by Daria Funches. And the title poem is really long, but I wanted to read an excerpt to it. Because it feels related to the beloved community here, and it feels related to what's calling me at the Mampana Center. I send my blankets over you, layers of energy meant to keep you from any that would do you harm. I send my blankets over you, loving sweet thoughts of truth, all you need to keep you warm. I send my blankets over you, navigator of all waters who comes anew, for love is a shield that disarms. I send my blankets over you, kindred spirit of Shaka Zulu, bringing love where anxieties brew. I send my blankets over you, the Mary and Jesus send a comforter too. Tattooed faces bring visionary clues. Welcoming songs call truth into view, men and women of the Waitaha true, being warriors for peace and for love, opening hearts like wings of a dove. For brave warriors and warrioresses of Lakota Sioux, for Mayan and Incan ancestors who are coming through, for all spirits of the Western Gate who stand in clear view, for Choctaw, Cheyenne, and Apache who are dancing too. Ancestors of the Dogon and Mali join us too. Nubian blanket carriers bless us with love's hues, reminding us how to heal history's residues. Maasai, holy ones ground vision with their moves. Samurai, druids, and braveheart claim your due. Star nations of all directions make your way through. The dervishes and the tribes of all nations whirl blankets too. Blankets of light for the next waves coming to you. All grandmothers and grandfathers come into view. Angels and archangels, we recognize you too. Seers, knowers, and wayshowers get thanks overdue. Ancient ones sing from mountains they once knew. Stand up for love, love, pure love so true. Stand up and love all as Creator loves you. Stand up for generations past and future too. Malcolm, Rosa, Martin, and Fannie Lou. Those who give their lives for love, light, and freedom, we honor you. Gandhi, Howard Thurman, Mother Teresa, Dalai Lama, Tiananmen warriors too. Wounded Knee, dog soldiers, light protectors come anew. Harriet Tubman and underground conductors, for your vision, love, and courage, we salute you. Wounds come from lessons and lessons come from wounds. Wrap ourselves in blankets as our lives are renewed. Stand up, stand up, stand up. I send my blankets over you. Thank you. Thank you for your love and your relationship. It means so much to me. And for the sacred work that you're all doing at the centers that you're at.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for the poem and words of blessing and thanks. My heart is full with hope for what is next for you and hoping that such abundance and beauty will accompany you into that. I have some words to share for both of you from folks who couldn't be here today. So I think I'll do that first, and then we'll open it up for those of us who are here who want to offer words and blessing for Brenda and Nanci. I have a note from Michelle Scheidt. Michelle was one of the co-dreamers, co-imaginers of something to meet the moment for retreat centers. She's a program officer with the Fetzer Institute and has a passion for spiritual innovation and for the sacred spaces that support spiritual practice and journeys. It was partly the question that she was hearing from the centers that were in her own heart of how do we connect? How do we support each other? how do we create a culture of cooperation and not competition? And she responded out of this creative place of saying, well, let's design something together. Let's get centers in the room together and hear from each other, find out where the common cause is and what form can support that for us as we move into the future. So Michelle sent some words. She's on vacation this week, but she said, "I'm sorry I can't be with the group for today's call. I'm so grateful for Nanci and for all she has contributed to RCC. Nanci, it has truly been a joy to work with you, to take chilly lake swims together, and to have the opportunity to enjoy your poetry and learn so much from you over these past few years. Thank you." And she also says, "I really appreciate Brenda and her amazing work with RHI. Brenda, thank you for your vision, your commitment, and sharing your spiritual practices with us all. It has been a pleasure to be together, to be in ceremony, and to celebrate the land and the ancestors. I am grateful for you and your gifts." So Michelle is here with us in spirit today, and Oren, who had to sign off the call, is also still here with us in spirit. And he sent me some words to share as well. He says, "I hold deep gratitude and love for Brenda, who is the channeler of roses and spirit. Her leadership and vision guided the Racial Healing Institute into new horizons, and I'm excited to see where her path goes next. Brenda is an essential voice and power that is so needed, especially during these times." And Nanci, Oren's words for you for now. As he said, there will be more. Nanci Lee has been a partner with RCC for several years. She is the poetic manifestation of pragmagic. She has a heart that holds the beauty of the world, as well as amplifying the voices of the various communities on Turtle Island. Nanci is also the one that can make a budget readable and a policy understandable. She is both a friend and a teacher, a partner and a mentor. Deep gratitude for all that she has brought to our community and what will unfold in the future. Words of love and blessing and appreciation from Oren. And Erin has a special video queued up for us. This is the third blessing from afar that I have for today from someone who cares deeply about the two of you.
Okay, I think you should be able to hear sound, but if you don't, flag me.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ben Scott Brandt. I wanted to pop in and just say a few words to Brenda and Nanci as they are stepping away from RCC and RHI. I worked as the program director for RCC for a year or two, and before that was working with RCC for a couple of years, and worked closely with both Nanci and Brenda. Nanci, thank you so much for your time with the steering committee and for all the different ways that you envision the future of retreat centers. I was really inspired by some of my conversations with you and the Women of First Light and Center for Ethical Land Transition and some of the vision that you have for Tatamagouche and what was happening there. While I was working with you, I'm excited to see what comes next for you, and loved your poetic nature and the way you brought that into our language at RCC. Even the word crunchy is kind of sticking with me to denote a difficult conversation or a conversation that had some tension involved. Crunchy. And Brenda, thank you so much for your way of being, for your connection to the land and to your ancestors, for the way that you brought a playful a sense of ritual and healing into everything that you do, how natural that is for you, and what you brought to RCC and to RHI through that way of being was really inspiring to me. I'm really grateful to have had the opportunity to work with you. I wish you both the best in what comes next, and can't wait to hear more. Okay, take care. Bye.
So blessings from Ben, dear Ben, for both of you. And that video feels like a blessing to all of us too. Uh, um, and now we have space. And thank you for folks who joined us today to honor these two precious humans. Feel free to unmute and share what words you have to share. And if you would prefer, you'd be welcome to post things in the chat. And we'll also we'll put Brenda and Nancy's email addresses in the chat as well if there are things that you would rather email them directly. Francisco, I see you've got your hand raised, so please go ahead.
Thank you. I I will start with Nancy. Uh, the words that we have been using is that we will miss you. But in my case, I have to say and confess that I have been missing you already. So, Nancy, you bring with you a full combo that include creativity, and that creativity is pouring from you in everything that you touch. It's not just your poetry. The way how you show up is a testimony of creativity. I When I said that I am already missing you, is because I miss your laugh. You bring so much joy with you. I know that over the years that we have been sharing a journey over the Stewardship Circle and RCC, one of the things that I admire of you is that like it doesn't matter how hard things are going, you find ways to plant the seed of joy within the group, and this is for me uh, a very one of your secret power, and I hope that you keep nurturing. I also think that I always look for your sense of clarity in regards to addressing hard issue. It doesn't matter if we were talking about numbers or racial dynamic but you hold a sense of clarity that reflect your own journey, and the way how you bring that is is an invitation. It's an invitation to join you in the same process. And the last things that I want to say, uh, I know that there will be more things coming, but the sense of solidarity that you hold is an inspiration. Is is beyond your local reality, but thinking through the lens of the global community that we represent. And those are gifts that I I hope that you keep nurturing them. I hope that you continue sharing them with us, despite that we won't be getting in a phone call twice a month. But I I look forward to seeing how you are embracing the new step of your life, and look forward to being part of it. So thank you. Thank you. And let me turn to the right corner in my screen to Brenda. It's just like, oh my God, yeah. Eh, Brenda, you have a way of showing off sensibility eh, eh, that is like porous. You really care, and and caring for others, caring for nature, making the links that those caring represent or should represent within our broken world. eh, it's very obvious that you really does this connection very naturally. It comes from you because the open spirit that you are. You are a walking heart, a walking heart. I and and I also admire that you are a very grounded person. We can be flying at 60,000 feet up, and you have a way to really ground us eh, with practicability without losing this sense of connection, eh, and inviting us to really expand our wing in ways that we may be afraid, but you transmit some type of security, let me use the word, that allow us, and I am speaking for myself, to say, oh, it is okay, it is okay. I know that I am not alone in this journey. So those sense of connections and grounded and sensibility, you have a gift of putting them in the context of community, and not just the community that are present in the way of how we know life today, but that sense of community considering our ancestors and the generations to come. The last thing that I want to say is like your welcoming personality is like a guest house. And I I look forward to seeing you relating in other capacity with this group and with me. Let me be egotistical here because I really think that both of you are fun people to hang out with and people that I really want to continue calling my friends. So thank you.
I don't see anybody else unmuting themselves, so I'll jump in. I'm gonna start with Brenda, and I'm Francisco. Going after you is hard because you just offered such deep and meaningful words. So I'll do my best to align with you. But Brenda, I just remember the first opportunity I got to meet you, which was right after Five Oaks had finished their RHI, and it was right at the beginning of your time. And our RHI program was amazing and challenging, and you listened and you were compassionate, and I remember feeling so seen by you, so heard by you. And I also remember being like, who is this amazing human that just entered into my circle? And just being so joyful that I knew I would have an opportunity to spend time with you in the future. And I think the first chance in person was when you came to Five Oaks for the annual retreat in 2023. And um, Brenda is so committed to making sure that the land is ready for the people that she came a day early to walk the land and to make sure that it was ready to greet us and to welcome us. And for me, that just demonstrated your integrity, your deep connection, your spirituality. Um, and it was so fun hanging out with you for those days. And I just cherish it so much. And then to have the chance to spend all this time on the steering committee with you this last while. And I want to share that at our steering committee retreat in February, Brenda invited us into a rose ceremony where we cut the ties from RHI in that sense, but then now working on new ties with Brenda. And I just want to say so deep gratitude to be able to be a part of such a beautiful ceremony. It's really made me think about how to cut ties and have good endings. And I think you're modeling that for us in such good ways. And it's not something we as humans are very good at doing, ending well. And so I'm so grateful for all that you've modeled this past time. And I look forward to all the ways we will connect in the future. I always know that I'm being held in deep prayer by you, and I'm just so grateful for that. I know that when you say I'm gonna hold you in light, I'm gonna hold you in prayer, you actually mean it, and that means a lot. So thank you. And Nanci, if you don't know, Nanci and I represent two of the United Church retreat centers in Canada, and so we've been connected even before RCC. I'm not sure if it was me that convinced you to join this network or Josie, but I'm so grateful you did. And there have been many times in this last while that Nanci has really pulled me along and been there to answer the phone. And neither of us are EDs of United Church Retreat Centers anymore. And I'm just so grateful that we will have an opportunity to connect in new ways through RCC or other ways. I want to share that I had a chance to visit Tatamagouche with my family 2 summers ago, and Nanci is just so steeped in hospitality that there was this beautiful basket waiting in our room with all the things that we needed. And my son was like, "Who is this person?" And as soon as he met Nanci, he just was drawn to her so deeply. And anytime I say your name, Nanci, he lights up. And so I'm just so grateful that you had a chance to connect with him. And your family's in Ontario, so I know you're going to be coming soon, and you better come and stay with me or else, because I want to walk around Paris with you and laugh and all the things. So I know that our paths are not separated, and I'm just so deeply grateful for you. So thanks for all you've both given to RCC, and I look forward to ways the path will bring us back together in the future.
Such such beautiful and heartfelt messages. Um, I don't really feel like I've had a lot of opportunity to get to know Brenda or Nanci, like on a personal level, but from a heart level and just a professional level. I remember meeting both of you when the retreat was at Michael's Center, right, in Canada. And I just can remember coming into the room, and I felt like the whole room was full of light, not just because there's all those big windows where we met, but because everyone there was just really full of so much love and positive energy. And so I just really felt that both Brenda and Nanci really stood out in their in the work that they were doing, but also in their presence. And that's something that I just feel like I can never stop deepening that work to be more present. Even on this call, I was struggling to like just be here and not think about everything else. But I think the way that Nanci's poetry, I think that's very grounding, and I think it's a great part of how you stay present. And so I just wanted to say thank you for shining your light, for being who you are, for doing the work that you're doing in the world. And also, as much as it's painful, I can really feel like the pain of this change and all the moving on of it, right? But I want to thank you both for listening to where you should be and what you should be doing next, rather than just being like, well, I'm here, so I may as well keep doing this, right? I think it takes a lot of courage and faithfulness to our calling to know when it's time to move on. So I love that for both of you, that in spite of the difficulty to, know what comes next, you're on your way there. So thank you.
I can pop in here and say something, if that's all right with folks. Um, I think I first met Brenda and Nanci, same as Sarah Lynn at the retreat at Five Oaks. First met them in person. And then I met you again, I think a year later, um, last year, was it? It feels like eons ago now, at Soulfire, in New York. So autumn feels like a season to me that reminds me of both of you. So changing leaves and the smell of the earth when it starts to get damp and those leaves are falling, cold water, moving water, fire roses, fires, campfires, sitting together, talking about dreams. Um, those are memories that are very special and important to me. And you two have been very special and important to me. Um, I cherish all of our work that we've done together. I cherish you both as people, sharing your stories and your lives to do work that feels uh, so important right now. It feels that's the words are not even enough to describe. Yeah, it's the words aren't there to describe how much foundational this is. And you too, your lights shine so bright, and I have so much love for you. And I'll be writing you letters. So check your mailboxes. And I have a poem for both of you. This is one of my favorite poems written by Jared K. Anderson. This is his collection of poetry, Field Guide to the Haunted Forest. He's got several others, but um, this poem is called The Text. It's a very short poem. It says, "You are a unique sentence built from the alphabet of our universe. The letters were here before you, and the story will march on long after you've been read. But you will forever be a part of the definitive text of existence. It is too late for you not to matter." And you both matter so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Love you.
Thank you, Erin. I was trying to unmute and then I pressed the wrong button. I've been sitting here listening to all the beautiful words and thinking about both of you, Nanci and Brenda. And, Nanci, I didn't get to work with you much, but one thing that struck me about you, first, I mean, Francisco, I think he captured it all. So, but I would add that you have a beautiful, gentle grace that's just permeates the space. Even across the screen right now, I can feel you. And it's this, you also came in saying like, okay, I will carry this a little further. I will carry this a little further. In a way, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And when we have good-hearted people, like everyone on the screen, even if I don't know you, I feel your heart. And it's this, we don't know what the ultimate outcome of all of it is going to be, especially in this very difficult time. But what we can do is to carry it a little further. And we have to let go, and I have to let go of the perfection and trying to be perfect in it. Because there's no such thing as perfection. So thank you so much for your deep care and your love and compassion to both of you. Brenda, another piece is that we are all just trying to find our seat, and maybe it's a seat, maybe it's a couch, maybe it's a stool, and maybe it's a bed, and sometimes it's just the ground. It's just the ground underneath us. And the way that you love the earth and all the creatures around it and all the flowers that emerge from it. I knew that at that moment. RHI needed that. And it needed that because we need to not only have racial healing, we have to also have a deep healing with the earth. And from feeling separate from the earth and separate from each other. And so, with all of its tribulation and its imperfection, you were the right person at the time. And so here we are, just taking it a little further. And there is work still to be done. And Retreat Center needs to get the support that they need to become refuge, because God knows we need it more than ever. So thank you, Kirsten, for extending the invitation to come. And thank you all for all you've done. And thank you particularly to Marissa and to Arlene for sticking through it. Through, as my friend and I always say, through thick and thin. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Arlene, for posting words of blessing in the chat, and Victoria for being here. In general, and really grounding us in this moment, grounding us in love for Nanci and Brenda, and appreciation for the two of you and all you bring, but also grounding us in this moment, and why we're here and why we need each other. Marissa?
Thanks, Kirsten. I just feel the urge rising to just verbalize that for both of you, the courage that you lead from your integrity has made such a difference in my learning and in my own healing, to see that modeled, both of you. And this, of course, this is not the end. Like this is just closing one door to walk down a different hallway together. And thank you for the space to do this closing well. It does matter so much. And it's really beautiful to just make some space to hear how you've impacted everyone so intensely and so beautifully, and for such a positive impact. And I am included in that. It's been an absolute honor to be led by both of you and to learn from and with you. And I look forward to more, however that manifests.
I'll hold some space here in case there's anything else that is wanting to be spoken into the circle today.
Well, it looks like most people have spoken, so I'll jump in because I'm the new one. And so I've had the shortest amount of time to get to know anybody here. And I just want to I really feel like I missed out a lot on knowing Nanci in this group. So I wish you the best. And now I know your name. and I'll look for whatever happens next. But also, I just wanted to take a quick moment to say what a kindness it was and what a gift it was that when everybody was in town here in Pendle Hill, in Wallingford, where I live, Brenda reached out to me, and we just got to meet in person, and that was just, it was a beautiful extension of kindness, and our conversation really moved me in ways that are really important, and for me personally, and probably for this direction of the center that I'm working for, because that's all tied together, right? And yeah, and then to say that act was just it was so welcoming I feel so welcomed into this group, just at the very moment that Brenda's leaving, by you reaching out, and it's just it's good, because so far that's been my experience with this whole group. So I guess I'll say that to all of you, is that, if I've been, hey, I have a question, or let's have a chat, everybody's really been open to that, and that's what I mean. So Brenda as an example, and then everyone else following that example, it's a good thing for me. So I really appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Julie. We're all very glad you're here. Is there anything else that wants to be said today, including Brenda and Nanci, if there's anything else you wanted to offer?
I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's just so beautiful. I feel like I was kind of at my own funeral, you know. But Women of First Light, one of the values that they always remind us is unconditional love at the bottom of everything. And not at the exclusion of crunchy conversations or accountability, but because of it. And I just want to say how much I love each and every one of you. And yeah, and again, thank you.
Tlatsokamati, tlatsokamati, tlatsokamati. Thank you from my heart. I feel so filled with so much love with the relationships in the circle, for the kind words. Yeah, I feel both really seen and also just really honored, because I feel like everyone who's still on the screen, I've had the joy of meeting in person and hearing about your story and your journey. And also, some more than others, to get to see you in your gifts, as we work together, day to day, and with retreat centers. And yeah, I just want to especially say to Marissa and Arlene, like, how much I've learned from the two of you these last couple of years, and the way that you walk your medicine. And yeah, I continue to be really humbled by the people I get to be surrounded by and learn from and grow with. So thank you for the Stewards Council and for the RHI team, and how much, and Aaron is one of those partners in the RCC work. I just feel like it's been such a gift to deepen with each one of you. And I don't really say goodbye. I say to be continued in some other form, because these relationships are too precious to just walk away from. And I know we still have things to do together. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Nanci. Thank you, all of you, for being part of this circle today. As Brenda said, to be continued. As we close, I wanted to share an announcement with folks. We haven't announced it widely yet, but with this circle, that Aaron is also going to be parting ways with the RCC. I know, Sarah Lynn. Aaron has given so much skill and heart, and everything, creativity to the work of the RCC, especially in this past year plus of the winding road that we've been on, since Ben's resignation. And we will find space to honor Aaron. We're talking about how to do that best in ways that are holding all of who you are, and how you seek to be in the world. But wanted to include that, as part of this circle today. And we have a poem for a closing blessing that Michael will read. And before he reads that, I just would say, I chose this poem with holding Nanci and Brenda in my heart. But after this last hour, just to have this vision of Brenda and Nanci in the middle of the circle of all of us, and realize that it's a blessing for all of us. I'm so grateful for this community, so grateful for the gifts that you each bring, and the work that you do in the world, and the work that you will do in the world, going forward from here. So, with that, thank you, Michael, for being willing to read this poem as our closing blessing.
Welcome. This poem is Remember by Joy Harjo. Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn, that is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away to night. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life, who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them, listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind, remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember you are all people, and all people are you. Remember you are this universe, and this universe is you. Remember all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember language comes from this. Remember the dance language is that life is. Remember.
Thank you, all my dears, for being here today. Thank you, Nanci. Thank you, Brenda. I so look forward to seeing what the to be continued will consist of for you individually and for us collectively.
Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you all. Kirsten, our heart connective tissue. Please invite us back for Aaron's holding.
Yes, I want to be there too.
I think we should all be outside for Aaron's.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Are you hearing this, Aaron?
Yeah.
Oh. Be well, friends.
Thank you. Be well.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.